Hello dear community, it's Fintech Week and tomorrow is Fintech Matters, the special conference on Fintech during Fintech Week. And I'm here on the day before the conference together with Anna Blyablina, co-organizer of Fintech Matters, and David Khassidov, the founder of Fintech Matters. So could you please just give us like an elevator pitch of like what is the event about?
The event is about, thank you for having us here. First hand at Broadcasten. And the event, Fintech Matters, is about international collaboration between financial service institutions and fintech companies, but also between ecosystem organizations all across Europe.
So who's the target group of it? Is it like regular people or bankers?
We are here to support the ecosystem. So we target every actor in the ecosystem, their banks, their regulator, the VCs, the startups, scale-ups as well, and also educational institutions. So obviously the media, everyone is welcome because we're all about collaborations and we want to foster that in the Austrian ecosystem.
So what will be like the program highlights which we will have?
We at this year we have few blocks. It's the ecosystem block, we have an AI block, open banking block, and a collaboration between financial institutions and fintechs. So we are dive deeper in each of the blocks and have very interesting discussions with leaders in the European ecosystem.
Yeah, also attached to the blocks we have also very interesting presentations by fintech startups, scale-ups. After each and every block, so we have this year about 40 fintechs basically on stage, which is highly interesting because they are coming from all across Europe.
Yeah, just to add, we also have invited a few ecosystem organizations in Europe to come and present their ecosystems and sort of give a bit of a glimpse what is outside of Vienna.
Like the fintech startups which will be there, like what are like the certain highlights which they have, like in which areas are they active?
I would say all across open banking, AI, then everything what is related to cybersecurity.
I would say quite a few. They're actually in AI. They're bunch, if you would highlight their AI use of data, that's the one which would be like on top of the list if we will really categorize them all. AI
is generally like one of the hot topics this year, so like for obvious reasons also in fintech. So, yeah. But you also manage collaborations. How is the status with collaborations? Like,
well, we foster collaborations between the different actors. That's why we have a specific block when we could see like, okay, what exactly been done by, for example, the first ecosystem, the first actors is Swedbank and Mini Technology will tell, okay, how did the collaboration go? So the audience and the Fintax could learn from it and obviously probably could pick up and do something. But we also seen there different collaboration in the ecosystem. The recent announcement was Citibank and Google Pay. And Alipay, and there are a lot of different collaboration ecosystem. So we put it as one of the key to highlight in the agenda and also to foster it in our event and in general to help the ecosystem to connect and work together.
So you have the regulatory institutions as well as the banks, as also the fintechs who will...
Absolutely. From our point of view, collaboration is the key and the future of financial services industry. It's not that one company or like the big banks or the big whatevers are going to kind of win the market and own it. We really strongly believe in that collaboration is the way to go, and that's also what we observe on the market and also what makes us very excited about the situation, the ongoing situation.
Because like the startups, certain problems they can't solve on their own, and the banks actually need the support of the younger teams also, right?
It's not only the startups which can solve. Now we see also the first collaboration between fintechs themselves. So there are basically larger fintechs and they are bringing together other fintechs which just work with them. We have number 26 and Bartalent, for example, on stage, which are giving a case study on that. So and that's one of the cases where you have one fintech and another fintech working together, and that's something like very exciting for us.
Yeah, they've mentioned there are so many ways of ecosystem actors to work together, and there was really no limitation. So we seen also that fintechs acquired the banks as well, and the banks working together and creating different products together. So in this case, they just win. And that's what it is. I've seen in my previous experience how it works. Collaboration's always better.
Speaking of your previous experience, you're originally from Sweden.
Yeah.
And like, how was your impression? Like, what's your impression of Swedish ecosystem, Austrian ecosystem? What do Swedish fintechs do differently?
Well, I would say it's a bit more advanced. For example, today at the morning event, I heard that Austria has 180 fintech companies, and Sweden is around 400. Only in Sweden, so it's a bit of a long tradition of digitalization, and there's a lot of quite a good examples. So we have only 3 fintech unicorns, which is Klarna, ISL, and Bambora. So there's an example for the entrepreneurs to follow. And also just to say that's quite digital. We have a cashless society, we have few collaboration projects, and also from the banks when it's come there. There's an P27, there's a collaboration between banks in the Nordics. So I would say it's a lot about collaboration and digitalization if you compare. And I think there's a lot of potential here in Austria, in Vienna, because of Vienna is a very strategic location from a DACH region, and also the gateway to the Central European region, and then it comes together to create so great stuff. So that's why we have so many international people coming in here. They all come here. I think like when it comes to the speakers, like 80% of our speakers are European, so they all arrived here today. We have a mingle thing, and then tomorrow they're all here to share the knowledge. And I'm sure the Austrian ecosystem should benefit from that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like this. And then also we can see there's a lot of collaborate. Like we can see, for example, from if you touch on a local case, N26 is from Austria, and then they went to Berlin. They did have a success story, and now they're coming back. They support the ecosystem. That's great, and that's how it's all what I believe in, and that's what we try to push through sort of fintech matters.
You mentioned the cashless society in Sweden. How well is that advanced?
Basically, if you have cash, you might not be able to pay. So you would there are a few places which will reject to get cash. So you have to pay with a card or any other sort of a tool. And it says it's around in 2023. There will be 0 cash usage in Sweden. So it's quite soon. That's the prognosis. But it also it creates issues because the elderly doesn't go that quick, so there's still usage of cash, and also the younger generation. So we also have a few answers from the central bank, for example, in Sweden. They start to discover the e-krona. So there's a project when they discover now what it's going to be, but the idea is to connect it to the value of a Swedish krona and have it a digital currency, which might be even the crypto.
Is it a token or is it a
Not
digital?
yet, no. They still consider and discover which tool they should use in order to go further. But it could be possible be a token as well. So it's no limitation there.
So what's the plan? That's also a plan to have that also in 2023?
No, there's really no guidelines there. But have you probably know there's Facebook Libra, which pushes...
There should be at some point.
That pushes a lot of local central banks to actually go and be a little bit more serious on all these initiatives. Because at the moment, Swedish central bank says that they're discovering, and there really no specific timeline for what and how they're going to do it. But when it comes something which is threatened a little bit, the whole ecosystem, then they start to do it, and they admitted themselves that Facebook Libra pushed them to a bit, because it's also a political decision.
That's actually a great approach. That's the approach of let's not forbid it. Let's just make something better, or like make something first.
Yeah, let's try to compete.
Let's try to compete instead. That's a great approach, really.
Yeah, and then obviously there's Swedish. I mean, you trust your local government, right? So you trust more the central bank than you would have trust Libra, and that's also, I think, one of the, when it comes to the Swedish ecosystem, trust in the whole digitalization, everything is very high. So usually people are very easy to track things and share the data. It's all open, and that's probably one of the reasons why it has quite a good numbers when it comes to the statistics on the Swedish ecosystem alone. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. David, does this make you envious when you hear stories like that?
I'm very excited. I mean, we're looking. I'm sorry. We're looking at many ecosystems all across Europe, also beyond that. And Sweden is obviously one of the places, but also one of the cases which is a role model in the one or the other way. So yeah, I like the approach, and I like to see what's going on there. We've been last year in Norway also and observed the ecosystem there. So and then connected also with some of the key players there. So in the Nordics generally, I would say the approach and the kind of openness to do, like, to collaborate but also to try new stuff is very it is pretty much given. Yeah, it's just it works pretty good, and I think that's built obviously on high quality, but also on very high level of trust between the organizations and between the ecosystem players.
And the trust between the population and the economy and the government.
Yeah.
Also. Yeah.
Highly.
And well, you will combine all these cases tomorrow, right?
We will combine all these cases tomorrow. I think we have a pretty interesting and intense program.
Yeah, we have international cases. The first one, as I mentioned, is a Swedish case, Swedbank and Media Technologies, but we have a German case as well.
We have an Italian case
as well. We have Swiss plus Mexico case as well. So like how the Swiss.
So that's even country collaboration.
Yeah, like how
that's
they're
even out of Europe collaboration.
Yeah, exactly. So they're gonna share what's is there, but also like who can. We will have the live Twitter, so we can also follow and see like who is there, and then like just jump into the topics you're interested. So that's also like a sneak peek to the listeners.
Tickets are still available?
Tickets are still available. You're highly invited to get some. I think also on broadcasting there is a possibility to get a discount, as far as I remember.
We had the competition.
Yeah.
Sure. It was very popular. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you're very, very welcome. We want everyone to come and collaborate. So that's the main theme. So just come share the knowledge and network and find some partners. You're also very welcome.
We'll be there.
Yeah, you should.
I think for the Austrian ecosystem itself, it's also very interesting, it's very interesting also to connect with such a number of international players from all across Europe. This year we have participants from, I think, 20 countries. So that's a lot.
Yeah, and I mean, like, if you're a digital company, you shouldn't stop at your border, right? Yeah, true.
Absolutely.
And the Fintax as well, they're also international. So if you want to meet probably your partner, or like for the fintech companies, it's also very nice to meet your neighbor or some potential possibility to collaborate within the fintech ecosystem as well.
Cool.
Fantastic.
I thank you guys for coming and for actually taking your time, just like so short notice before the event. And yeah, hope to see you tomorrow at the event, and hope to see you too. And thanks for watching.
Thank you for having us.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.